Really, like, she's the best in the family, probably.
I wouldn't say that. Early on, she was a better shooter than me, but now I don't think she's a better shooter than me. We played Cody Williams, Team Perry. We won that game by like 30. Even connections like you, like your super huge connection.
Hey,
like,
I mean, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I paid him
like,
extra to say that, y'all. What's up, y'all? Super excited to have you guys on this episode of Ben Connected. Can't wait to reveal the guest. But first, let's dive into a couple news things that we have happened this week. We just signed with Dunked Cookies out in Saratoga Springs. Best cookie shop in Utah. Way better than Crumble. Way better than any other cookie shop. And we're going to prove it today. Second thing, we signed a deal with Lodge 33 Hat Company. Can't wait to hook up our guests. Viewers, you got to tap in. Unbelievable hats. Quality's great. Thanks again for tuning in to episode 2 of Ben Connected. Last week we had Garrett Bowles in the house. Super fun episode. This week we got big time 4-star recruit who just signed with BYU. Originally committed to USC. Local hero, Corner Canyon All-Star, Brody Kozlowski.
what's good, man? Thank you for having me on.
What a wild events of basketball, bro.
For sure, it's been really wild.
I mean, you go from full access to wherever you want to go, leads you down to USC, commit to USC, ready to go there. All of a sudden now, local dudes staying home, coming to BYU.
Yeah, it's crazy. The whole process was nuts, and I had to restart right all over again. If I was like all settled, feeling relaxed, and then boom, hit me like that with like a snap of a finger.
So once you committed, did you go out there and kind of decide like, hey, this is where I'm going to stay, or how did that work at USC?
Yeah, so I did a couple of visits there. I did an unofficial
Okay.
and official. So I went, did like a whole official visit with them, kind of figured out where my apartments would be. It's like right next to the main facility, which was like super nice.
Yeah, super easy.
Yeah, and then kind of just did like the whole photo shoot thing, and then went into that, like going on, like getting all my academic everything figured out. Got that, like they literally sent me a package like welcome me into USC right as the day they left, which is crazy.
Oh my
So it
gosh.
was like funny to like see that. I was like, oh well, they're not there anymore.
So they like send you a package. They're like,
Yeah.
bro, welcome to USC. Can't
Yeah.
wait. Everything's dialed in.
Mhm.
Apartments ready. Academics are ready.
Yeah,
By the way, we're leaving.
exactly.
That's so crazy. Like, what was that like recruiting trip? Because at that time, Boogie Ellis was down there.
Mhm.
Bronny was there. Isaiah Caller was there too.
Yeah.
I mean, they got some dudes down there at USC at that time. So on those visits, how engaged are like those types of players as far as like recruiting? Obviously, you're a bigger recruit than most. So like, how was that recruiting process? Like, what was that even like?
Yeah, it was super exciting. So I think we went to breakfast with Boogie and Isaiah. They're super chill dudes, super super nice guys as well, like for their like stature and everything.
Right.
So did that, and then went to their practice. Like all those guys were there. Like Dennis Rodman's son was there, because he was practicing and playing with them too. So it was like fun being in that atmosphere and everything, being around those guys. So it was like a really cool experience.
You look at USC, I mean, it's Hollywood, right? Like, I mean,
Exactly.
it's LA, like, you get the SoCal, everything about it, right? Like,
Yeah.
you are, I remember watching some things about, like, Caleb Williams when he was like, when I came over to USC, he was like, I'm eating dinner and, like, Kim Kardashian's out at dinner in the same place I'm at. Like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
especially, like, obviously, he's probably lived a little bit different out in Oklahoma, like, before, but, like, you go from, like, obviously, you're the man at Corner Canyon, but, like, LA is a little different than Draper. Was it like one of those things where it was like, you saw the staff change at USC, you saw the staff change at BYU. Hey, I'm going to look at a couple other options still, and then ended up going to BYU.
Yeah, so it was like kind of a slow process because the USC coach that left Andy Enfield,
Yeah.
he kind of started the process because he left to SMU. Then the Arkansas coach left to USC. Calipari left Kentucky to Arkansas. Then Pope went to Kentucky. So
Oh, wow.
my coach, like the USC coach, started the whole process.
Thanks. So that was like a literal
Yeah.
trickle effect.
So BYU was the last to get like their full coaching
Right.
staff. So I had no idea who it was.
Right.
So I was like looking at other options like Stanford, SMU, Nevada, just other like Michigan reached out, like
Yeah.
other big time schools. And so I went on a visit to Stanford. It was like one of the dopest campuses I've ever seen.
Just like the program in general or everything?
Just all of it. Everything was like nice golf courses, nice area, nice just like weather. Just like it was so enticing. But the thing was that they had a new coaching staff as well. Came from Washington State.
Okay.
So like that kind of was like iffy right there, and how they saw me coming in. And so
You were considering Cal for a little bit too.
yeah, I was
right?
considering
With
Scout
Coach
with
Mattson.
Mattson. Yeah, Mattson has always been
Awesome dude.
Amazing to me. Great guy.
Good dude.
I wish he was in Utah. That wouldn't like I would be enticed to go play for him in Utah. Berkeley's kind of tough for like my like goals and everything and balls and stuff, but like that process. So I did Stanford. So I was on the verge of Stanford, and then I came back, and then a day later, like, well, Pope kind of like I'm not Pope. Young kind of signed. He got his conference and everything before I left. Met with him that Wednesday, and then left to Stanford that like Friday, Saturday, and so that like process, and then I kind of got like more calls and texts from the BYU staff as they kind of came in.
Kind of trickled in.
Yeah, and so they like their stature of like their resume is like crazy. So,
I mean, you look at just top from bottom, right? Like who they got, right? Like, I mean, you're talking NBA coach that like, you know, D-Book shouting him out saying he's the top tier guy, you know. He's coaching dudes like that, and if that's the goal, right, then that's typically most of the college dudes that want to go play. How do you like turn that down as far as an opportunity? And it's 20 minutes from your hometown. You know what I mean? Like, kind of a no-brainer at that point. And then obviously your mom is at BYU. You know, she does broadcasting at BYU. She played at BYU too, right?
Yeah, she did. She was big time.
Yeah, big time. So really, like, she's the best in the family, probably.
I wouldn't say that.
So you're better than her.
Yeah. Well,
you got some stuff to prove there.
Early on, she was a better shooter than me, but now I don't think she's a better shooter than me.
Well, like I said earlier, we just partnered up with Lodge 33, top tier hat, best hat in the game. I want to get you a stealth, blacked out, custom BYU hat for my boy.
No, I appreciate that, bro. This is like fire.
Super tough. I mean, well, we didn't even coordinate this. I promise y'all. We did not text each other and plan the black outfit. That's tough. It's like you just recommitted.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Like you just re-signed today.
Yeah.
That's tough.
That's
man.
Awesome, bro.
Shout out to my boys, Lodge 33, the fire. Just how you hold yourself. You know, there's some other dudes on your team that thought a little bit different as far as kind of how they operated, and where you know you're getting offered by everybody, and you're still being respectful as you're playing. And I mean, you're giving out buckets, but like being respectful, which is cool, And I think like it goes volumes of who you are and like kind of how your family raised you and stuff. So that's dope.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you.
When did it start like making sense where you're like, hey, like I think I can actually play at the next level, or was it kind of just always like, I'm gonna be a D1 player from the jump?
Yeah, I always thought that since I was little, but like I think it hit me really in like 6th grade. When I started excelling my game and everything, and I was like, oh, I can really do this. I can push myself like harder than I ever need to do before. So it's kind of when I realized it was in the middle school kind of area.
Yeah, so like junior high was like, hey, like this could actually be more than just like I love basketball. Like I could actually go. Hey, that's sweet. And you got a little brother too, right?
Yeah, he's gonna be a hooper.
That's playing at Corner Canyon, right?
No, I got 3 little brothers. I got one that's in like going into junior year, but he's playing football. He's a football guy. He's a big dude. I have a 13-year-old.
A young one that's a hooper.
He's a hooper. He's going to be good. And then I have an 11-year-old that's like a QB.
Just because a kid transfers in and they're really good doesn't mean that team gets really good, you know? And so I think, like, obviously you guys do what you do at Corner Canyon, but I think establishing the culture of it is way deeper than just, like, getting the transfer itself, right? And so it's going to be scary to watch a couple more Kozlowskis go through Corner, bro.
It'll be fun.
That's a scary thought. Everyone put the expectation you guys were going to run away with it again.
Yeah.
Right? You got some other transfers come in, right? You got some dudes that came over from like Juan Diego, a couple other schools. You get hurt.
Yeah.
Like you get hurt, you're not playing.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Before, like I was feeling better than ever. We were like summer league, going to like Vegas and like the Section 7, that big event. I was hooping. That's where I got like my USC offer was from Section 7.
Okay, so Section 7 really propelled it.
And then I committed like November, November, and then mid-November is when the car accident happened. I was just grateful to be alive from it, but it kind of like set me back a lot. I was like in it like a kind of a depressed state. I was like, holy, like I'm gonna miss most of my senior year. Like this is the funnest time of high school. Like, along with your boys, like seniors are like the man of like the campus and like basketball team and everything. So I was like super excited, super stoked. We were like 5 days away from starting preseason, going to go play in the Great Western. Yeah. And it hit, and I was like heartbroken.
I mean, you touched on it a little bit, but I mean, the mental side of the recovery, not just like, okay, cool, I'm alive, but like, dang, I can't hoop right now. Like, what got you through that as far as where you were mentally?
I think family was a big help. Just they were supporting me throughout the whole process, helping me recover and everything. And main thing was I wanted to reach my goal. I wanted to win state again that year. So I was eager to get back on the floor and everything. And I think my first game back, it was against Copper Hills.
Yep.
Shot terrible. Like, yeah, I was so rusty. I was like 1 for 12 from three. But I still had like 29 points. It was like crazy. It was like twos, but still, like, it felt nice to get back. But like knowing that like I wanted that goal to like win state again and try to two-peat and like push to be better for college as well. It kind of pushed me through, and my family along my side is like the biggest thing for me too.
100%. Who does Corner Canyon get this year? Who do they have this year, right? And I think like naturally it allowed you to now put yourself in a USC or a BYU where you're around guys that are at high level, but like you're kind of already used to that,
Mm-hmm.
like. But now you go from being the man at Corner Canyon. Is that same kind of BYU? You're kind of the man, or is it start over kind of from scratch?
It's like all from scratch. Like, all from that's like high school freshman year. Like all these guys are like 5 stars. They're all 4-star, 5 stars. They're all dogs. They're all hard workers. They're there for a reason, and
Right.
so you just have to work your butt off like even more.
You got 15 roster spots, 16, whatever it is, that like are all top tier. High school, you keep guys because you need numbers.
Yeah.
Or maybe their parents donate a lot of money. I don't know. Yeah, you keep those kids,
Exactly.
How's been, now you're at BYU, you've been practicing in the summer, been around the guys. Obviously, we don't need no secrets as far as what's going on and intel like that, but like how's that experience going for you as far as like the team and things like that?
Yeah, it's been super fun. The transition's been kind of tough. Like it's hard to go from like high school ball to like college ball. It's like a big jump. My body's had to like adjust and like my wind and everything, my legs. But it's been like super exciting. Like we got a squad. We got dudes that are gonna be like hard, tough, like balls to the walls, like
Yeah.
type guys. And so like they like built this roster to like go try to win a natty.
How much different is that at the BYU or at a college level as far as like the guys that are on there? Besides the fact they're dogs, like what's kind of like the MO at that level?
Yeah, I think it's just the expectations for like everyone. We're like expected to like be the best. We want to win a natty. Like we're all wanting to reach that goal together, and that's supporting each other, like helping each other become better each day, and that's what we've kind of like built on with each other, and then just also like striving to kind of like be like build a chemistry as well, like on and off the court. Like I think we're gonna go lagoon like this weekend. So just like simple stuff like that.
Just hanging out.
Exactly. So
Just kind of creating a culture that's gonna be beyond basketball, beyond
Yeah.
the lines. That's super cool. Like I said, like literally, dude was in the NBA Finals, coaching, highest paid assistant coach in the NBA, and now he's taking over BYU. Like I mean, that's just like crazy, just in general, regardless of figures of how much people get paid. Like him to take that job and like say, hey, this is gonna be a beacon of. This is basketball. This is a basketball school, right?
Yeah.
And I think BYU has kind of fluctuated between basketball and football schools, right? Like obviously BYU's had a rich history of football in the olden days, and then now they have some good squads. Where basketball, obviously Jimmer turned
Yeah.
BYU around, and kind of that year was unbelievable, and then now kind of had some winning years. The year that COVID hit, that team that was T.J. Haws, Zach Selyus, Jake Toulson. Dalton, I mean, that team was that team might go down in history as one of the biggest question marks of BYU, where it's like what could have happened, and we're now getting more consistent at that level, which is crazy. But what would you say as far as like connections and things like that? How important is that in your life? Like, what have you seen the pros of having connections?
Yeah, it's like a huge thing in like the college world and everything, and it like sets you up for your future. So it's not only like connections, like building a relationship with that connection. So that's what I've been trying to do with like the alumni and everything. Like we had an alumni thing like a couple weeks ago, and I just try to go, try to say, hey, what's up? I appreciate you being here and everything. Try to build connection and build my name,
Yep.
resume in front of them. So it's just huge to like build that, so like you can like set up your future better and like for like even yourself, your family.
I mean, I think like I look at even just like with you and I, like our connection. I mean, I'm at a BYU girls practice because we work with Coach Amber Whiting, and I'm talking to her. Your mom comes up, talks to her, and then I'm like, yeah, I know who your son is. He gave us buckets when I coached against him. I know exactly who he is. Little brother and him had major battles, and it was fun. And so I was like talking to her, and then she's like, yeah, he's going to USC, and we were planning about you going to USC, and then all of a sudden I get a text like, hey, he's going to BYU. you know, get you in the car dealership, take care of you in the car, and then it's like, you know, fast forward now, it's like, you know, that only happened just because like we just started talking, you know, and I think like that's what people misconception of connections. It's like some people would just DM you just like, oh, you're Brody, like you're a 4-star, I want to be your friend just because you're you. Where then there's like the deeper connection of like, hey, like here's what I do, here's what you do, let's grow together, let's build the brand, you know, or let's build an image, or let's build this. In your world of connections, like what would be like the most like important connection you've made?
I think with my like family, my dad and mom, they've like set me up with connections like of like friends that they've had.
Nice.
And like people from BYU. Like I know Brian super well. I know Tom Homo. I know Danny Ainge super well. Ryan Smith. So
Big connections.
Big connections.
Big connections, so, not little people.
Even connections like you, like you're a super huge connection.
Hey,
like,
I mean, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I paid him
like,
extra to say that, y'all. I did.
But like I always cherish like connections. Like I know like it can like take me steps further in my future.
100%. I think like you just never know what connection could lead into like 50 connections, or like what that one little comment could lead to. You know, I mean, your mom probably had no idea who I was for sure. Just sitting there watching the girls practice. And then now leading on to it where it's like, you know, you got a car, your mom got a car. Now it's all these things where it's like way different experience, which is cool. And so I think like connections are just everything, you know. And I look at like with what I'm doing and how I've done it as far as build my brand and build my image is solely on real authentic relationships, right? Like people ask me all the time, like how do you do it, or who are you friends with, and you know, how do you know these guys? I'm like, bro, like just be real, like you know, like you have enough people of being fake around you. So I feel like when guys like y'all like see a real relationship, you're like, oh, okay, like this is nice, feels better to have a real friendship. I'm a big like treat guy. Like it's bad, like I'm like the type of dude, like I'm playing NCAA football right now because like you know, I had to get it. Well, let me just tell you a story about the NCAA real quick. So I'm texting my little brother-in-law. He's a sophomore right now, and he's like, bro, don't be that guy that buys it early, this and that. And I'm like, bro, I need to get it. Like I need to get it. Like I haven't played this since 2014. You know, my senior year, like or junior year, I was like, I need this game. And he's like, all right, whatever. So I get it, download it, right? Downloading it. I'm sitting there, and text little bro, and I'm like, bro, it's not working. Like it's on my Xbox, but it's not working. It's on the account. And he goes, bro, your Xbox is too old. And I'm like, what? So I kid you not, I literally looked at him and I was like, I'm going to Target right now. So I go to Target, I buy the Xbox X, go home, download it, and now your boy's playing NCAA football every day.
That's crazy.
But I'm like, anyway, why I say that is because like I'm a big treat guy, and I love like snacks. Like I love like Red Bull at night. I'm a big Red Bull guy too. Shout out Red Bull. And then I do like cookies, and so I go to, you know, been to Crumble, been to all the cookie shops in Utah. I saw it on Instagram, and I saw it's like dunked cookies. And again, I'm a big sneakerhead, so I was like, I gotta go check it out. It looked like a sneaker shop. So I pull up to it, and it's like legit top tier, top to bottom, best cookie shop I've ever been into as far as like an athlete, sneakerhead vibes, unbelievable. And we just partnered up with them. They wanted to bless us today on the episode with some cookies. So not only does this look like a shoebox, which I got excited about when I first saw it, bro, we got the starting 5. So it comes with 5 cookies, which is fire. We got, appreciate our people over at Dunked. So here's a couple of flavors they got. They got the Stockton to Malone. And mind you, they handcrafted the packaging, which is dope. That's dope. So I got the Stockton to Malone, which is fire. Check that one out. We got the cookies and Kareem, like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, which is crazy.
That's mine.
Yeah, that one's gonna be you. Oh, and what about this one, the Gold Digger? We gotta get the Gold Digger because you know the Gold Digger at your status. You know, people get crazy.
Exactly.
We got the Strawberry.
Okay.
You know, give that to your shorty or whatever. That's true. You know, that's a good one.
I like that one.
And then we got the Bruno Mac instead of Bruno Mars. You got the Bruno Mac. So I mean, we got a couple different options we want to try today. All right, bro. So we got the cookies and cream. We got the Gold Digger. You know, let's try these out. Again, appreciate my guys over there. Unreal. Oh man, warm. You know it's a good cookie, bro, when it's melting into your hands. You feel me? Exactly. Like that's when you know it's good. I'll be smacking. I'm telling you, better than Crumble for sure. I mean, don't hate me, Crumble, but like If y'all want cookies or a snack, I'm telling you, Dunked is the spot to go to. Unreal in Saratoga Springs, fire. But dude, let's talk about just the disrespect on Utah basketball, bro. Like, let's just be real. Like, obviously, like I coached it, you play, and played high school. Like, you mentioned it earlier, Section 7, big tournament at Arizona, top tier hoopers go there. Every coach in the country goes. You go as Corner Canyon, this white team. What was that like?
It was crazy. Everyone just like downplayed us and thought they would just beat us. Actually, we played Cody Williams' team, Perry, at Arizona.
Yeah.
And Cody's of course like a top lottery pick.
Yeah, literally on the Jazz now.
Yeah, and
crazy.
So like we just started that game. We're hooping. I was hooping. I had like I think 29 on him.
Oh wow.
I was like locking him up and everything. I was like,
hey.
Yo, who is this dude? Like,
yeah,
he wasn't like developed. I was like, yo, what the?
Yeah.
But we won that game by like 30, and we're like
by 30.
Yeah, 29 to 30, and we're like,
you guys look like you're going to a chess club and you're rolling out and you're hooping. We literally in warm-ups, like you said, like layup drill, fundamental, the up and under.
Yeah.
And then it's like, yo, by the way, we just beat y'all by 30. There's every coach in the country there. I mean, high level, mid-major, everyone's there. What is that kind of like as far as, obviously you're trying to play to win. What is that like knowing the fact that there's all these coaches there?
Yeah, so all those coaches, like, it just, like, it's for sure nervous. Like, when you first, like, I was there, like, my sophomore year, like, to my junior, it was, like, nerve-wracking. It was scary. I kind of, like, pooped the bed when I first started. But, like, as I got more comfortable and everything, like, it's, like, fun to be out there, fun to have all these coaches watching. And that's kind of how I got my name on the map for all these coaches. And Utah prospects helped me as well. But Section 7 was a big thing for me. That's how I got, like, USC, San Diego State. It's actually like a funny story, San Diego State at Section 7, which is hilarious.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So let's hear the story. So, I got my boy chuckling about this. Let's get this story out.
Dutcher, the head coach there. So I went to an unofficial there before Section 7. It was like in the summer, sometime or in like May. And we're talking. He was interested in me, but like wasn't like all in on me.
Yeah, just kind of a little vague.
He was interested, but like like all the assistant coaches love me and everything. But he kind of said, he's like, I'm going to come watch your Section 7. And if you perform how you perform, I'm offering you. It's like, all right, let's do this. So Section 7 comes around. I'm, like, balling, like, 25, 30 bombs a game against, these, like, guys. Like, I think this is, like, my junior year going into my senior year.
Okay.
So, like, yeah. There's, like,
so this is the year.
Yeah. And so I was hooping and everything. After, like, my second game, he calls me. He's like, yeah, you were hooping. Like, I'm going to offer you, bro. You got full ride. I was like, sick.
What is that call like? Like as far as like getting that call, like obviously he kind of dogged you a little bit. He was kind of like, hey, like you're kind of like, all right, maybe I'm interested. Let's see how it plays out.
Yeah.
To hey, overall, I just watched you give out buckets to dudes that are I'm offering, and now you just gave those dudes buckets. Hey, I want you a full ride book. What's that call like?
It's unbelievable. It's just like a blessing. Like every call from a coach is a blessing for me. Like I was just like super blessed to get even just one offer was a blessing for me. My first offer I was like literally like crying.
Really?
It was like nuts. Like I worked so hard. I was like,
who was your first offer?
It was Eastern Washington.
So you kind of had the mindset of like, hey, the better I perform, the better that like my team's gonna look as well.
Yeah.
Coaches are gonna come and watch not only me but like watch the other guys too. Dude, that's dope, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, that says a lot about you. I mean, I know a lot of dudes that are like, yo, I'm just here to ball regardless of my teammates, regardless of anything else. I'm getting my O, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Where like that's cool where you're like high level, but like treating it like, hey, yeah, it's cool, but like, hey, let's see who you're getting looks by. Hey, that's, I think that's dope. No, Jackson Roberts is a bucket, bro.
He's a bucket. I can't wait to watch him play at UVU.
He's going to be tough.
Yeah.
He's going to be really tough. I remember watching him because y'all would do that little full court press, and he would be the head hunter, and he would be the head of the snake, dude. And he was just in you all game. Something happened. A pass goes out. I can't remember what happened, but like Jackson just gets it, bro, and just goes and just annihilates the rim. Like I'm just like, bro, I thought he was gonna break the hoop because how bad. Like he just dunked it so hard, and I was like, This is how it's starting. Okay.
He was one of the hardest dunkers I've seen as a guard.
Yes,
in,
bro. As a
playing,
guard, like,
yeah.
and I didn't know he was like that.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know he was like that. Like, I remember watching. I knew who you were.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I had Max Toombs. He shot the ball a
Yeah.
lot and shot it well, and so I knew Hub Jackson, and then you got the Farrell kid. You got the
Yeah.
whole group as a collective, and I was just, we all knew who everyone was, but I didn't know he was bouncy like that.
Yeah.
Like, bro goes down off like 2 feet and just yams it, bro,
Yeah.
and I was like, he's like that. Like he's like that, and then obviously everything else, y'all did the corner canyon effect, and then it's
Yeah.
like next thing you know, you're watching a game, and it's like, oh, this is a close game. It's like 10 points, and then corners by 30. It's like, I mean, how is that like being part of like a team like that? As far as like obviously expectation is tough
Yeah.
because you're everybody's Super Bowl, right? Everybody's giving you your best battle to that game, but like, how do you guys maintain that where you go to games that you're gonna blow teams out, but like, how do you like levelly keep locked in like that?
Yeah, I feel like just the mentality and like how we like our goals. It was a big thing. Where, like we had the same goals that year,
Right.
for that squad and everything, and so the mentality of like each game is like we're 0-0. Like it doesn't matter,
Right.
like who we're playing. Like we just gotta come out like as hard as we can, diving on the floor, all the little things, and that's what we did every single game. We didn't take a play off, not like one of us.
And you're a 4-star recruit. Like, you're a top guy. Like, you're not just this like college and I mean, no disrespect to anyone else as far as basketball. Like, anyone that makes college level is tough. Like,
Yeah.
and it's a tough job to get. But it's like you on paper should easily transition as far as like you should get there and not skip a beat. So like the fact that it is that different even for you is like, I mean, that's pretty cool. Like,
Yeah.
as far as like to other people, like to other kids, it's like, okay, like this is normal.
Yeah.
What would be like the biggest difference as far as like the speed, or what's the difference as far as college and high school?
Level of competition is just like out the roof. Like Big 12, all these conferences, like everything around like the
Yeah.
country, top notch. Like these guys aren't playing. Like they're not like messing around, like having fun. They're here to work.
What advice would you give to a young hooper as far as sticking to their goals and sticking to their dreams and things like that? What would you say the best advice you could give to a young hooper?
Yeah, I think just like not focusing on the social side, like all the rankings and everything, and just putting your head down and working. It's like what I try to do. Like worked on my game every morning, worked on my shot, just like each day getting repetition. Help translate into like you just go play, go have like fun, like not like fun, but like try to work on your game when you go play like pickups or like go play with like friends. Like
Right.
always try to work on your game and just push yourself each day.
I absolutely can't wait to watch you at BYU. I think you're going to do a lot of great things. I think the squad's going to do a lot of great things. Again, shout out to my boy, Brody Kozlowski. I made sure I prepped his name like 20 times today. But for sure, tap into his social media. Follow him on Instagram. Stay tuned for the next episode next week. Appreciate y'all showing love. Like, comment, follow. And again, show some love to my boy, Brody Kozlowski. Appreciate you, big dog.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
All right, bro. That was fire.